Welcome back to the Conjure Room. I'm so happy that all of you are here. And for those of you who are listening to the replay, welcome, welcome, and come on in. Today, we are going to take a guided journey to connect with your ancestors. We started this journey last week, and unfortunately, as I say, the internet gremlins decided to come and play with the internet. And now we hope that they are off on the beach somewhere, enjoying a little bit of sunshine and playing in the water instead of with the internet. Basically, what happened is we had an outage that took place throughout our city. But I'd like to say the Gremlins were playing. It's a little more fun. So I'm happy that you're here to join us for the meditation this week. And this is a time for you to really begin to think about what is it that you want to create? What's your next step that you want to take? Even if you're not quite sure what it is, just begin to think about what that is. And I had everyone check in when we first started, and you wrote down a word that describes how you're feeling right now. What I want you to do, and you can put it in the comments or you can actually put it on in your journal on a sheet of paper. I want you to write what that would feel like if it was total opposite. So if you weren't feeling stuck, what would that feel like? If you weren't feeling exhausted, what would that feel like? If you were totally free of drama, what would that feel like? If you weren't on an emotional roller coaster, what would that feel like? So just take a moment to put that down because we're going to bring that to the ancestors and ask them to provide you with whatever is needed for you to experience exactly what you're writing down. And you may even want to write down some things that you want to let go of. And we're going to present this to the ancestors energetically and ask for support and guidance. But before we actually jump into the meditation, I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about ancestral medicine and your gifts. I've had so many people coming to me recently saying, I just feel so confused about what my next step is. I've taken these courses, I have these certifications, I've had a successful career, I've learned so many things, and I don't know how to pull it all together into something that I feel inspired to offer people. And what I say is what you're looking at when you're at that place. And this happens around 50s and 60s and even into the 70s. And what happens when you're in that place oftentimes is that you are being called to something new and different, something more soul aligned, something that creates somewhat of a legacy for you. And your ancestors are beginning to show up even more. They've been with you for your entire life, supporting you, guiding you, even in moments when you didn't think they were there, they were there. And then there's those that were coming in and protecting you, which we've talked about before, which is more, ends up being more of an interference. But those ancestors have been with you for a very long time as well. And what's happening now is your lineage is calling you to offer the gifts and the medicine that has been in your blood and bones for your entire life. And you have used it in certain ways. And one of the ways that you may not even recognize it is that people will say, oh, you're so easy to talk to. Oh, you always have a solution. You always provide me with comfort. I always feel healed when I walk away from you. I always learn from you. These are different things that we often hear that people share with us, and we sort of dismiss them because they're a natural way that we are. It's a natural way of being. And so we miss those and we don't realize it. But those are opportunities for that ancestral medicine to come through you to help other people. And what's really great about this is that you can use that medicine to continue helping people the way you do, or you can use that medicine to create some type of a legacy project. You can use that medicine to create your own business. You can use that medicine on your terms and however it is that you want to be able to use that medicine. That ancestral medicine is so powerful. And when we know it, it really helps us to understand why we feel the way we do, why we've been guided towards things that we've been guided to, why we are feeling somewhat confused about how we're supposed to bring it together. But I can tell you, there is a purpose for it. There is a way that you can bring it together. And one of the ways that I share with people is through what I've been calling a Bloodline Codex. And it's something that I've shared with some of my individual clients, my private clients that I've been working with, where we identify your ancestral medicine on all four of your lineage lines. So we look at both of your parents and their parents. And when we look at those, we can determine what are the medicines that have been fed into you that are coming to the surface now and causing maybe a little bit of confusion or causing you to feel inspired to do something different. For some, that may mean leaving their jobs. For some, you're retired and you want to try or create something new. For other people, you're just ready to just no longer do what you're doing. You want something totally different. And so when we look at your bloodlines and the medicine that is coming through those bloodlines, the spiritual gifts that are coming through those bloodlines, that's where we can take all of that, put it together, and look at what is it that you are here to uniquely offer, give, and create. And that's what makes the Bloodline Codex so powerful, is that you get a full printout of your ancestral medicine on all four of those lines, including the ancestors that want to connect with you. Those ancestors that are ready to guide you and support you to develop each of those medicines that are coming through your bloodlines. And when you learn to connect with those ancestors, guidance becomes so much easier. You no longer are feeling stuck. You're no longer feeling like you don't have a direction. You no longer feel like you don't know what your next steps are or how to bring your work together, because you're now being guided by beings that know your purpose. So they know how to align your gifts with your purpose. They know what your soul came here to do, and they know what it means to live a physical life. So they're able to help you bring it all together and create something truly magical, something that either, like I said, leaves a legacy for you or something that generates an income for you. Maybe you are retired and you want to bring in a little more income, or maybe you have always wanted to have a business doing some kind of spiritual work. Your Bloodline Codex will help you identify what that is and how to bring it together. So that's a little bit on the ancestral medicine and gifts. I will be sharing more about that next week. We'll take a deeper dive into it, but I just wanted to share that with you. And I want you to start thinking about, what is it that I'm carrying from my ancestors and what are they wanting me to bring forward right now? And you can begin to ask that question in your own spiritual practices. What is it that my ancestors want me to bring through right now? In fact, work on that this week. Ask the ancestors this week, what is it that you have poured into me that you want me to bring forward? Don't worry about getting an answer. Just let them know that you are open to the answer and to receiving the guidance. And then I also want to share with you that I'm doing something new. Well, it's relatively new. The Ancestral Guidance Circles. I used to do these a long time ago. They were called the Ancestral Wisdom Circles. Now they're more around guidance, Ancestral Guidance Circles. And the Ancestral Guidance Circles are a place for people to receive guidance and direct information and wisdom from their ancestors. It's a small group. I only hold the group for 6 women. And in those groups, each person gets an opportunity to ask a question and receive guidance directly from their ancestors. And what's powerful about doing this as a group is that what applies to one person always applies to other people. So you're able to take the wisdom that each person receives and you can use it for yourself. So not only do you walk away with the direct information that I channel from your ancestors, you also get the information, the wisdom and the guidance that others are receiving too. And it ends up being a very powerful way for you to have a deeper connection with your ancestors. And in there, I always tell you which ancestor is working with you right now and supporting you right now. So if you're interested in learning more about the ancestral guidance circles, I'm going to have one this month. So we'll be starting towards the end of the month. I will select a date as I find out, who's interested. We'll have a date and we'll get these circles started. And I would love to have you there. Some of the feedback that I've received from these circles, I've seen people, relationships change as a result of them. Sometimes people come and ask a question about relationships. I've seen relationships change. I've seen people who were on the verge of divorce come to these circles and find that there were other people that were experiencing something similar, and the ancestors were just pouring in and giving information. She utilized the information and improved her relationship, and now they're not even talking about divorce. I've seen situations where people were feeling very stuck in their business. Money wasn't flowing the way they wanted to flow. They came to the circle, the ancestral guidance circle, and what they received from the ancestors was the next step, information, guidance. But they also received support from the other women in the room and the ancestors of the other women in the room. I'm excited about starting these. If you want more information about them, you can just type guidance in the comments and I will send you the information so you have more information about the group and what we will be doing and how it will take place. But like I said, everyone in the group will have an opportunity to ask a question. So everyone will be able to do this. Great. Okay, I see Pat and Yana are both interested. Okay, I will be sending you information. Wonderful. Okay, now let's jump into our meditation. And bless. Okay, wonderful, bless. Great. Okay, you got it. Okay, let's step into our meditation. You're welcome to just be at ease and at peace. And before we get started, I always have to remind people that if you are in a situation where you're driving or operating heavy equipment or in a place where closing your eyes and being in meditation would be dangerous, I'm going to encourage you to just stop the video now and come back and listen to it later and go through the journey later. This isn't a replacement for medical advice or support. If you are having a medical situation, I encourage you to seek out the support of a professional medical advisor, doctor, counselor, whatever it is that you feel will support you with your journey. So with that, I'll have you just take a deep breath and release. And you can just close your eyes when you're ready. I want you to just take a moment and just notice any sensation that you feel in your body, anywhere where there might be some tension. And I want you to just focus on that area and imagine that there is a beautiful violet light in that area that is allowing you to relax even deeper, going into a deeper and deeper state of relaxation. And now I want you to visualize a beautiful golden light above your head. And that golden light is just circling above your head. This is the energy of the ancestors. This is their way of beginning to join you where you are and in the space that you're in. And as this beautiful golden light circles above you, you'll start to see a white light begin to just rise all around you. And this white light and the golden light are guiding you into a safe, peaceful place, a place you've been to before, a place that you feel comfortable in. It is guiding you into that place, allowing yourself to just be there. Notice what's around you. Notice the space. Notice the colors. Notice if you're indoors or you're outdoors. Notice how peaceful you feel. And just take a deep breath and release. Now visualize yourself with what you wrote down earlier in your hand, how you want to feel, support with any next steps that you have. And you're going to bring that with you on this journey. And as you relax in this place, this sacred special place of yours, the light begins to descend, the white light. And now the golden light swirls in front of you. And as this light swirls in front of you, two ancestors appear from the golden light. These may be ancestors that you know or ancestors you don't know. These ancestors are your guides for this journey. These ancestors are the gatekeepers that make sure that only the loving and most kind, pure, healed ancestors join us on this journey. These are your guardians. These are the ones that will walk with you as you meet the ancestor that is ready to help you on your journey right now. Greet these ancestors. Welcome them into your sacred space. Notice anything different or unusual about them. And now these ancestors step on both sides of you, one to the right, one to the left, and gently take your hand, and they begin to guide you. And in front of you is more golden light. And the ancestors guide you into this golden light. And as they guide you into the golden light, they guide you to a golden path. And as you step with them on this path, you feel a sense of peace. The ancestors are all beginning to gather. And these two ancestors guide you to the gathering space. As you walk with this golden light, and the golden light takes you down this golden path, you come to this beautiful gate. This gate is the special gate to where your ancestors are gathered and waiting for you. And the two ancestors that walk with you, they open the gate. and they guide you through the gate. And as you step into the gate, there's all these beautiful ancestors just waiting for you. They've been waiting for you to join them for a very long time. They've been waiting for you to show up. And they're so excited that you're here with them. Feel them welcoming you. This is your space. This is your sacred space. This is where your ancestors are meeting. And as you walk into the space, deeper and deeper, they guide you to the perfect place within your community. This is the perfect place within your ancestral village where you can now go and sit with them. Notice what the village looks like and feels like. What's surrounding you? And as you go deeper and deeper into the village, you'll notice that there's an area that they've made just for you to come and sit with them. Take a moment and sit with your ancestors. And you'll notice in the center is a beautiful, peaceful altar. Water, candles, crystals, all the things needed to support you when you come back and create your altar. One of the ancestors comes forward. This ancestor is the one that is guiding you and supporting you on the next steps of your journey. This ancestor may be a male or an ancestress, a female. You may know this ancestor, or maybe this ancestor is new to you, but this ancestor comes to you and she sits next to you. She places her hand on your back and lets you know that she is supporting you. She has your back. Feel her presence or his presence. And now this ancestor comes and sits in front of you, faces you, and is ready to communicate with you. Hand the ancestor the notes that you read before we started this journey. Give the ancestors what it is that you'd like to feel right now. And give the ancestors the next step that you'd like to take or you'd like guidance around taking. Just hand that to them now. And now the ancestor receives what you've shared. And this ancestor has one word for you. Receive your word now. This is your anchoring word This is the word that you can say when you need guidance and support. This is the word that she or he is sharing with you today. Receive your word. And this is your time to ask this ancestor any questions that you may have, any support that you need. And now take a moment to thank this ancestor for supporting you and guiding you. Thank the ancestor for the word that you received, because this is the word that you can place on your altar. This is the word that you can use when you need support and guidance. This is the word that you can use when you feel stuck, frustrated, overwhelmed, or need guidance. This is your word. And now those ancestors that help guide you on this path, they come and they take your hands. And you thank the ancestor that gave you the word, that received what you need support with. That ancestor will take it back to a collective of ancestors that are ready to support and guide you. The ancestors that guided you into your village are now going to take you on a healing journey to release anything that needs to be released so that you can connect with the guidance from the ancestor that you met today. And they take you by your hand. And you walk into a sacred garden. And as you walk into the garden, you feel the energy of the trees. And they take you over to a grouping of trees. And in this group of trees, there's healing energy. And they encourage you to select a tree. So pick a tree that feels best for you and walk over to this tree, hug the tree, touch the tree, and receive the energy and grounding that that tree is sharing with you. Feel the wisdom of that tree flowing into your body, allowing you to grow, create, take deep steps. Just feel that tree. And now they take your hands again and they guide you deeper into this beautiful garden. This is a garden in your ancestral village. This is your space. This is your healing space. And they guide you deeper and deeper into the garden until you come to a beautiful pond. It's peaceful. The water is clear. It's an emerald blue. And they take you over to the water. And as you put your feet in the water, you'll notice a beautiful amethyst crystal begins to rise. This is a healing crystal. This crystal is ready to absorb anything that you may need to release, any words, thoughts, beliefs, ideas, maybe even people. And you can step as far as you want into the water, knowing that your ancestors are right by your side, guiding you. You may decide to float in the water, or maybe you just want to sit at the edge, or maybe you just want your feet in. Whatever feels most comfortable to you, allow the water to circle your feet. And as you are standing or sitting or floating in the water, you begin to feel the energy of that amethyst crystal. And that crystal energy is surrounding you. And as it surrounds you, you begin to feel some things being pulled away. Allow them to go and release them. See the words flowing in the water. See the ideas that need to be released flowing in the water. Maybe there's fear, anxiety, abuse, abandonment, anger, grief, shame, or even scarcity. Allow those words to flow from you into the healing waters, releasing, releasing, and releasing. And as you release, it all flows out to the crystal that's in the middle of the pond. Take a moment to release anything else. Go deeper and deeper and release. You can even ask your body to release the unknown. Release things that you don't even have any consciousness about that need to be let go. This is a time to release it into the healing waters. And now the crystal is gathering up all of this energy. And you can feel it moving through the water, moving away from you, further and further, out to the middle and into the crystal. And now the crystal begins to sink back into the water, filled with everything that has been released, letting it go into the healing waters. And your ancestors now grab your hands and they hold them tightly and they guide you out of the water. And as they guide you out of the water, your body automatically dries off quickly. You feel the earth under your feet. You feel grounded by the trees and healed by the healing water and the healing crystal. And now you're ready to take the last part of your journey. On this part of your journey, you now come to one of the wisest ancestors in your family lineage. This ancestor is sitting in a beautiful part of the garden. This is the place where you can plant your ideas, your beliefs, your wants, your desires. And this ancestor is watching over your dreams, your wishes, your desires, your needs, your hopes, yours and all of your ancestors in your family lineage. This is the garden of dreams. This is your garden. And as they guide you deeper and deeper into the garden, this ancestor invites you in and encourages you to look around the garden and select a place where you'd like to plant your dreams. Select your place. And then this ancestor hands you a plant. And as you hold this plant in your hands, speak the words into this plant of what you want to create, your dream, your wish, your desire, your needs, your hopes. Speak them into the plant now. And now you're being encouraged, supported, and guided. This is your time to place your plant in the soil so that it will continue to grow. Place the plant in your selected location and then cover it up with the soil. Add a little bit of water. And now your dreams, hopes, desires, wishes, and needs have been planted, and your ancestors are overseeing them. And now your ancestors take your hand again as you turn and say goodbye to the ancestor that is overseeing this beautiful garden of dreams. And these two ancestors now begin to guide you back to the golden path. You pass the healing waters. You pass the gathering of ancestors. You have your word with you. You know what plant you received. And now it's time for you to go back through the gates, back on the golden path, back to the beautiful white light, back into your sacred space. And as you enter the sacred space, the ancestors release their hands from yours, and they offer you love and thank you for taking the journey with them. Your private guides, those beautiful guardians, the gatekeepers, are now ready to leave. They've completed their job for today. Thank them for the journey. And now allow yourself to begin to come back into the present moment, leaving your sacred space, coming into the present moment. The golden light and the white light have all dissolved. And now you're ready. Taking a deep breath, exhaling, and then beginning to move your feet, move your hands. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.